Hey, Bryce Tubbs here. Today, I just want to talk about, what to do if your clients and potential clients complain that your price is too high. So I'm going to share my screen. I present or prepared this document to kind of make sure my thoughts are in alignment, and just make sure we hit every single point we need to. So I made a post a little while ago about like how accountants and bookkeepers can raise the price ethically, and sign up more clients. And like people were leaving me messages saying, what to do if they complain the price is too high, right? Because it's one thing for you to try and like raise your price. It's another thing for people to accept the price and to really sign up to those higher price points, which is something I completely understand. So I wanted to kind of break down both how to prevent people from, even complaining that your price is too high by basically handling it, beforehand, and what to do after you get it, just in case you didn't handle it properly in the beginning. So disclaimer, this is not a silver bullet. It will not work 100% of the time. Anyone who tells you that you have a 100% close rate is either confused, is kind of fudging the data, or is just outright lying. You're never going to have 100% of people sign up with you. It's very, very challenging to do that. Most people never done that in their life. Now, the main thing though is you have to keep in mind it keeps longer for certain people to implement stuff. So like maybe they see a video and they just like, kind of disregard it. Now, the longer that it takes for you to implement this, what's inside of this video, the harder it's going to be for you to actually reach your goal. Now, if you want to skip the videos, because there are a lot of videos on this channel, and you just want to go straight ahead to getting a step-by-step formula to do sales, then I encourage you to click the link inside the description below to book a call with me to see if our mentorship program is a good fit. Now, going back into this, the first thing that you do when you're handling objections is you need to diffuse the situation, okay? Most people are going to argue. As soon as someone says the price too high, they'll be like, well, I mean, you guys are making $1 million a year. What's $12,000? Or they'll try and say, well, everyone needs a bookkeeper. Well, here's the reason why you need a bookkeeper. Here's why you need a CPA. Here's why you need it. Like, the business owner does not care about that. Now, what you're doing, remember earlier we talked about if you tell someone something, they're not going to believe it, versus if they say something, they will believe it. This is actually reverse what we talked about earlier, okay? So the first thing is we have to agree with them and diffuse the situation. Something like, no problem. Something like, okay, that's fair. Something like, I hear you. Okay. And pause for a second. Mean it when you say it. There is no problem. It only becomes a problem if you get emotional and start to try and justify or convince them of why they need you. Okay. It's okay if someone tells you no in the conversation. Generally, people say it's not really what they mean, how they feel, or what they'll do. Okay. Just relax. Fair. I hear you. No problem. No problem. And then just pause. Just sit there. Okay, if you say no problem and immediately go into the attack mode, they're gonna nothing's changed. If you no problem and calm down, just sit there again. Remember, the conversation slows down once you set our price. Now we can start working. Now we can start digging, right? If you start instantaneously attacking them, it's gonna feel like you're like being a used car salesperson. If you relax, if you're having a conversation between two friends, you're more just talking. Okay. So justification is not the problem. It's doing it without acknowledging that the view has more significance or has even some significance. Okay. Even if you believe that what they just said is bogus, like you still have to treat it as it's real because it's very real for the other person. Okay. So next thing, pause and ask one of these questions. So I'm listing like 3 questions here. You only need to use one of them. Can you tell me a little bit more about, when you said that it was very expensive? Or when you say the price is too high, like what do you mean by that specifically? What do you mean when you say that? Okay. So it's no problem. You know, when you say the price is too high, what do you mean by that specifically? Okay. I often write a note, like I used to take a lot of like notes on like sheets of paper when I do consultation calls. Nowadays I have like this like writing pad. I lost the pencil. Writing pad that I can take notes on. That saves a lot of paper, but whatever. But like one thing I used to write on it would always be like breathe and relax after I set my price. Okay. That I did that probably for the first 3 to 4 years that I was in business on every consultation call, both for my coaching program and for my accounting firm. Right. Breathe, relax, breathe, relax. Take a deep breath. Slow your emotions down. Slow your heart rate down. You are not under attack. You are not in a boxing match. Okay, you're in a conversation with a business owner that's going to potentially pay you thousands of dollars per year. Okay. Some of these deals, think about it. If they pay you with it 12 times 10, let's say they're paying you about $2,000 per month. Okay. That is $100,000 contract they stay with you for 5 years. Okay. It's okay. They're gonna say no. It's a lot of money for some people. Even if they're making $1 million, giving out, 24, 25, $26,000 per year is seen as a lot of money. Okay. So just it's okay. It's okay. Okay. It's hard to slow down a lot of cases, especially when you believe in your service so much. You think, "Why don't they get this? Why don't they understand they need it? It's not that expensive." I know 5 people off the top of my head who charge way more than what I just quoted them. It's frustrating. I know, I've been there. I'm there almost every day, right? I still do consultation calls, right? But in my experience, getting good at this part of the call is what caused you to make $20,000 per year or $20,000 per month, okay? They always say coffee is for closers. There's a movie like that, right? Coffee is for closers, but you're not gonna be a closer by being a used sales car person who yells at people all day and tries to give them stuff they don't want. This is a valuable service that can save a business owner from going out of business. It's a very, very valuable service if you understand how to talk about it and how to do it. That's that's the difference. Like this part when they say no, they say your price too high. That's what separates people who make the money from the people who don't make the money. And for the first 14 months out of my business, I was one of the people who were, making no money, right? Because I was not comfortable here. As soon as I understood how to be comfortable there, that's when my income shot up. That's when I could start closing calls. And I could get people who said no initially to want to work with me at higher price points. And it made it a lot easier. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to make it. Now, if you want some help growing your business so you can avoid making all the mistakes that cause people to fail, click on the link either above or below the video to see if working together in the mentorship program would be a good fit for you and your goals. Okay. If that's you, I'll see you on the call. I'm going to put a link actually inside the description. Also, if you're afraid that maybe you won't be able to afford the program, like it's not a cheap program, right? It's multiple four figures, right? Which is a funny thing to say, right? So we have multiple funding partners to make the program accessible to you, so you can get your foot in the door for the program, and then just be off the races, so you can reach your financial goals. Now that's if you qualify for one of the funding partners. They are kind of stringent on some cases. It is based on like your credit score, right? So talk soon. If it makes sense for you, I'll see you on the call. If not, I will see you inside the next video. If you want this document that you see on the screen, go ahead and comment document, and I'll actually send it to you. And there's also some more growth resources, like some behind the scenes coaching calls, as well as like student recaps. So you just kind of watch what it looks like from other people's mouths who are in the program, like how to grow their business. What do they make that change? Like, what do they do to change everything, change the situation? So I'll talk to you soon. I will see you inside of the next video. Take it easy.